Okay, guys, I'm going to bring you another creepy story. This is about a woman named Leonarda Cianciulli. Okay? She was born April 18th, 1894, and died October 15th, 1970. She was an Italian serial killer, or so they call her, better known as the soap maker of Correggio. Okay, so she murdered 3 women between 1939 and 1940 and turned their body into soap and tea cakes. Yes, Leonarda was born in Montella. While still a young girl, she attempted suicide twice. In 1917, she married a registry office clerk, Raffaele Panciardi. Her parents did not approve of the marriage as they had planned to marry her to another man. She claimed that on this occasion, her mother cursed them. The couple moved to Panciardi's native town, Lauria, in 1921, where Leonarda was sentenced for fraud and imprisoned in 1927. When released, the couple moved to Lacedonia. Their home was destroyed by an earthquake in 1930, and they moved once more, this time to Correggio, where Leonarda opened a small soap shop. She was very popular and well respected within her neighborhood. Leonarda had 17 pregnancies during her marriage, but lost 3 of the children to miscarriage. 10 more died in their youth. Consequently, she was heavily protective of the 4 surviving children. Her fears were fueled by a warning she had received some time earlier from a fortune teller who said that she would marry and have children, but that all of the children would die young. Reportedly, Leonarda also visited another Romani who practiced palm reading and who told her, "In your right hand I see prison, and in your left I see an asylum." In 1939, Leonarda learned that her eldest son, Giuseppe, was going to join the Italian army in preparation for World War II. Giuseppe was her favorite child, and she was determined to protect him at all costs. She came to the conclusion that his safety required human sacrifices. She followed her victims, 3 middle-aged women, all neighbors, recorded that Leonarda was something of a fortune teller herself, and that these women all visited her for spiritual help. Faustina Setti, the first of Leonarda's victims. Faustina was a lifelong spinster who had come to her for help in finding a husband. Leonarda told her of a suitable partner in Pola, but asked her to tell no one of the news. She was also persuaded to write letters and postcards to relatives and friends. They were to be mailed when she reached Poella to tell them that everything was fine. On the day of her departure, Setti came to visit Leonarda one last time. Leonarda offered her a glass of drugged wine, then killed her with an axe and drug her body into a closet. There, she cut it into 9 parts, gathering the blood into a basin. Leonarda described what happened next in her official statement. So this is her actual words. "I threw the pieces into a pot, added 7 kilos of caustic soda, which I had bought to make soap, and stirred the mixture until the pieces dissolved into a thick, dark mush that I poured into several buckets and emptied in a nearby septic tank. As for the blood in the basin, I waited until it coagulated." I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Coagulated, dried in the oven, ground it, and mixed it in with flour, sugar, chocolate, milk, and eggs, as well as a bit of margarine. Kneading all the ingredients together, I made lots of crunchy tea cakes and served them to the ladies who came to visit, though Giuseppe and I ate them too. Some sources record that Leonarda apparently received Setti's life savings of 30,000 lire. as payment for her services. Francesca Sovia, Francesca was the second victim of Leonarda, claimed to have found her a job at the school for girls in Piacenza. Like Seti, was persuaded to write postcards to be sent to friends, this time from Correggio, detailing her plans. Also, like the other lady came to visit her before her departure, she too was given a drugged wine and then killed with an axe. The murder occurred on the 5th of September of 1940. Her body was given the same treatment as Seti's, and Leonarda is said to have obtained 3,000 lire from her second victim. Virginia Cacpopo. Leonarda's third and last victim was Virginia, a former soprano singer, claimed to have found work as a secretary for a mysterious place in Florence. As with the other two, she was instructed not to tell a single person where she was going. Virginia agreed, and on the 30th of September in 1940 came for her last visit to Leonarda. The pattern to the murder was the same as the first two. However, unlike the first two victims, her body was melted to make soap. According to Leonarda, this is her actual statement. She ended up in the pot like the other two. Her flesh was fat and white. When it had melted, I added a bottle of cologne. After a long time on boil, I was able to make some most acceptable creamy soap. I gave bars to neighbors and acquaintances. The cakes too were better. That woman was really sweet. Wow. Okay. She also received 50,000 lire and assorted jewels from that woman. Casapopa's sister-in-law grew suspicious of her sudden disappearance and had last seen her entering Leonarda's house. She reported her fears to the superintendent of the police in Reggio Emilia, who opened an investigation and soon arrested Leonarda. Leonarda did not confess to the murders until they believed that her son Giuseppe Parnassardi was involved in the crime. She confessed to the murders, providing detailed accounts of what she had done to save her son from any blame. Leonarda was tried for murder in Reggio Emilia in 1946. She remained unrepentant, going so far as to correct the official account while on stand. Stop! At her trial, Leonarda gripped the witness stand rails in oddly delicate hands and calmly set the prosecutor right on certain details. How deep-set dark eyes gleamed with a wild inner pride as she concluded, I gave the copper ladle, which I used to skim the fat off the kettles, to my country, which was so badly in need of metal during the last days of the war. She was found guilty of her crimes and sentenced to 30 years in prison and 3 years in a criminal asylum. Leonarda died of cerebral apocalypse in the Women's Criminal Asylum in Peluso on the 15th of October, 1970. A number of artifacts from the case, including the pot in which the victims were boiled, are on display at the Criminological Museum in Rome. A darkly comic play of Leonarda, Love and Magic in Mama's Kitchen, was first produced by Lena Whitmiller and the Sopolito Festival in 1979. The play began a run on Broadway in 1983 as well. So that's a very, very interesting story. I found that very interesting. I knew you guys would too. So, let me know what you think in the comments, and, tomorrow I'll be back with another creepy story. Enjoy, guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring you another creepy story.